Hello my friends, thank you so much for being here. I have to say the obsession continues with hard candy. Okay, we had the video, was it last week? Yes, talking about just the brand as a whole. I featured lots of different products, full face look. So many of them were not just good, but really outstanding actually. And this is a brand, by the way, I find it in my Walmart store, but you can also order from hardcandy.com. And seeing as there were some things that I wanted that weren't in stock at my store, did a little haul for some more things on hardcandy.com. And maybe I shouldn't say the fullest selection because I think there were some things that I know were definitely at my store but not on the website, but the newest stuff is on the website for sure. So I've got shadow sticks, I've got a mascara that you've got to see, more shades of the Face Off liquid blush bronzer, there's a glow serum primer, I got another eyeshadow palette. I was kind of thinking last night, like, do I do another full face? Might as well, considering all the stuff I have. I'll plug in my Glamouflage stuff just to kind of stay consistent with the brand, you know. But yeah, I'm very enthusiastic about this, very excited. I've got more like little Easter background stuff there. I got that cute little pink bunny. It's actually a rather large bunny from Walmart. I hope my kitten isn't offended by another creature entering the background. Oh, and if I look like I've got just a little more color in my skin, I did self-tan my face last night. I used some of my Isle of Paradise drops. I just mixed them into my e.l.f. Holy Hydration sleeping mask, so I had a lot of rich moisturization and then like just a full drop of some of that tanner stuff. You just mix the two together, put it all over the face, wash your hands after. It really works. But yeah, let's do it. Hard Candy Part 2, Sheer Envy Glow Serum Primer. So a lot of their primers are packaged, you know, in the little squeezy bottle, and there's that one that I love with the 12-hour makeup grip, but this seemed like a special new primer. It says visibly illuminates skin, infused with vitamin C, niacinamide, and hyaluronic acid for a dewy finish that still looks like your skin, just way more even, healthy, and balanced. So it says brightening and hydrating. Got a little pump, and it really looks shimmery, like wow. But as you kind of thin it out, you can see that it's not an actual like, oh my gosh, this is packed with glitter, or this is just a watered down highlighter. The glow is more so from the hydration that it has. I would say it's quite hydrating. Like oily skin might not want to even go for this. I think the surface of the skin looks beautiful with it on, and there's a kind of a smoothing factor with it too that I didn't really expect before the first time that I tried it. Smoothing, hydrating, definitely a little more glowy. It's leaving some glow on my hands, but you couldn't even get up close to your face and see any kind of shimmer particle, which is kind of baffling to me because it looked so much like just a straight liquid highlight when you pump it out of this. But I think that's pretty. Just move on and do our foundation. I already talked about this a lot in the last video. I would probably watch that one first. If you've stumbled across this, go to my hard candy video that was just a few days back. But this is Glamouflage Full Coverage Foundation, which I wear in the shade Natural. Maybe after the self-tanning, this will be a really good shade match for me. But we got our doe foot, buck foot thing working here. Can this truly be full coverage? I think it pretty much can if you're going to apply it with a brush, but I do see a difference if I blend it out with a damp sponge. It just takes away a little bit of the coverage. I'm going to use my e.l.f. Duo brush today with this. It's just beautiful on the skin, and it pairs so nicely with this primer. You can really tell that there's some added glow compared to when I just use my usual hard candy primer, the one from the last video. Like if you compared the way my face looked after foundation from then to this, you'd say this one looks a lot glowier. And I've been wanting to reach for this foundation a lot. It wears super well on me. It's just yet another great drugstore option. There we go. See, 10 times glowier with that primer underneath. That may be what some people want, may not be what some other people want. So just know that. I've got my concealer here. It's again the Glamouflage concealer. I wear it in Fair. Full coverage concealer, they say. It really does do the work, and it lasts beautifully throughout the day. I've really had a chance to, you know, keep an eye on things like this. We had cheerleading competition over the weekend in St. Louis, and I was wearing this. It held up really well, and it was like kind of a muggy feeling situation. Like, you know, you get in somewhere and it's not all out hot, but like, you know, you're on the cusp of sweating. That was kind of how I felt. And also I had sometimes Bubba like laying on me, and he's a little heater. By the way, he has his preschool screening today. I know. How? So I have a new palette, and yesterday I was like, oh, and I'm going to use one of the glitters tomorrow. And now I'm kind of thinking, I'm kind of wussing out from using a glitter because I don't know, I just don't feel like I want to sit there, you know, right up next to somebody and be like, I wore glitter to the preschool screening. But the glitters do work in these palettes. That's all I can say. You just need a glitter glue. And somebody told me Hard Candy does make one, so be on the lookout for that. The one I've used with them is just the one from Too Faced, and it clings nicely. And yesterday I posted a TikTok. It was about a little nude lip combo I'm enjoying right now, using a lip liner that you'll see in this video. And the palette I was wearing was this new one that I'm going to use today. And I had so many questions. What's the eye look? Do the eye look in a video. So here it comes. But there's that foundation and concealer combo. I'm so happy with it. Stay and Slay Press Powder, a gem. A total gem. Great for touch-ups, great for setting the under eye. It says translucent setting powder, helps to reduce transfer of makeup. It's a nice texture. It's soft while not being too thick in the way it applies. Not like it's trying to be a powder foundation. But I just picked some of that up with my triangle sponge and I set that under eye. And it just looks more even and flawless. And I still do love, you know, a Rimmel Stay Matte. It's not quite as smooth as this, and it does the job beautifully well too. For some reason, I'm more likely to use that with a brush, but both are great options. This isn't the only good under eye setting powder in the game, but Hard Candy just happens to be good in this respect too. It's just the brand that like nobody should be overlooking anymore. Okay, we're set on that T-zone and the under eye area. And now we're gonna get into some new shades of the Face Off stuff. So this is liquid bronzer. In the last video, I used the chocolate drip, and I mistakenly called it chocolate chip several times. I realized as I edited. And I wanted to get the lighter shade, but it wasn't in stock in my store, and it's called Sweet Tea. I think there's 3 colors in this, and I know this is the darkest, but Sweet Tea, this, in using it the other day, I realized this is probably a little bit more realistically like my shade in this, even though the chocolate drip really does work. This Sweet Tea just seems a little more like, okay, looking a little more like the tone I'm used to seeing in other products like this on me. Swipe some on here. We're working it like a little contour. And then I'm going to take my Sephora 56 and just blend that in. It blends so easily because it is a liquid and it's not setting too fast. And I'm just blending hair into it. Come on, hair. My hair is still a little wet today, believe it or not, from showering last night. Look at that. Pretty, believable, natural. Not messing up my layer of foundation that I have on, you know? Not interfering. It's really thin. And if I had to work really hard to blend it in, if I really had to grind into the skin in order to get it blended, that could mess up some of my coverage layers, but I feel like it's doing just fine. It's giving me exactly what I want. I like the depth level. The other shade can work great as well, the deeper shade on me, but this just feels a little bit more everyday manageable. And then I can come down here with anything left on the brush and just blend under the jaw. So good. This has got to be like my favorite drugstore liquid product of this kind. I know Milani makes one too, but I like the format of this even better with the wand applicator as opposed to the little puff that it squeezes out of. Now, last time I showed you the Born Yesterday shade of the blush. Absolutely stunning. Really love the cool pinky vibe to that, and there is some glow in it, but I also wanted to order this one called Who Is She? And we're going to use that today. So rosier, seeming more just like creamy, not as much shimmer. I just swipe it straight on. I'm going to go for my other 56. Really rosy. I think there might be a little satin finish in this, but it seems like it has less shimmer than the pink. Look! I'm not sure I could choose which blush shade I like more. I like them both for different reasons. This is so nice. It kind of makes you wonder, like, am I blending in an M Cosmetics serum drops or what? Like, it's so pretty. Absolutely awesome. And then I also ordered another one called Be Real, and it's not going to make a lot of sense to put that one on my cheeks today, but this is one of the blushes. And at first I was like, whoa, what are you? Like, it's really soft. This is for my Barely There blush, ladies and gentlemen, okay? I did put it on my cheeks yesterday and I could see some color from it. It looks like it's just blending straight up into my hand right now, but it's for sure softer than the others, not like really must-have status for me. I think fair skin who like a barely there blush could wear that and be like, okay, this is nice. But my goodness, Born Yesterday and Who Is She, those are slaying it. There's another product that's very interesting to me. It's the Selfie cheek tint. It says dot on, blend in, bloom out. This has not been in stock in my store. I've tried to order it like twice, and it is pretty. And it does do something. And for the purpose of showing you, I love this cheek, but I'm gonna show you what this does. If I get on too much, I feel like it wears away at the makeup underneath. Like, I don't know what you're made of. I don't know if there's some oils involved in this that can kind of wear down at your coverage, but it's one of those universally flattering things that adjusts to your body's pH. And it does have some jojoba seed oil in there. Let's just show you because it's kind of a fun result to see, but I'm just gonna try not to get too much on. So you got a little doe foot here. Boop, boop, and watch. Wait for it, wait for it. See him turning pink? And a little more to that side. Yesterday I just like patted it in with my fingers, but a brush is fine too. A brush might diffuse it a little more and make it less likely to break down what's underneath. But it looks like a real natural like rosiness, I think, what it adjusts to on me. I just don't like the thought of too much of that kind of stuff on top of my skin where I've tried to establish some coverage. So I would say go as little as possible if you get that, but it is cool and the color is pretty. I know you're not seeing the truest color that it creates because I already had blush on, but maybe I could show you a little bit of it on my hand here. There's a spot. Spread that spot out just a little bit. See that pinkiness of color developing? Maybe my hand needs a little different color than my cheek. It went real bright on my cheek. But then look, pretty blushy color. It's not like straight liquid. There's a, oh man, look at my finger. There's kind of a serum-y vibe with it, okay? One nugget of wisdom from our road trip that I can share with you is that the honey roasted pistachios are really good. I feel so dewy. I take a little bit of this. Whatever's left on the puff, I haven't gone in for more. But guys, the competition went really well. I didn't forget anything, which was great because we were getting ready at a hotel. Cut our drive to the venue down to like 10 minutes, which was great. And the hotel room actually happened to have sort of like, it's not a full-on suite, but there's a separate kind of like living area with a little table and a couch and TV and all. And you can feel like you're a little bit separated from the beds. So Bub and Bubba were able to go on and get a decent amount of extra sleep while I was getting the girls all ready. Did I say this was Brow Stylist Definer? It is, dark brunette. But the competition was great. Their teams brought home first again. And Biddy's team, there's only 10 girls on the team and 4 were out sick. So those coaches had to go modify things during the warm-up. They like updated us on Facebook, like we had 30 minutes to switch around the routine. And those girls got out there and I was honestly expecting some moments of mass confusion, you know, if you have to be placed in a little different spot or you have to be given a different task. To be that young and be able to go with the flow like that after you've learned it a certain way, I mean, I was super impressed. You wouldn't have guessed that they had things switched up on him. But poor Bubba. He does a good job being there. It's a lot of sitting around. Okay, this is the Hard Candy Teddy Brow, which I talked about in the last video. I have the brunette shade, I believe it is. Got this from Walmart. Tiny little brush. Super duper comparable slash dupe status for Benefit Gimme Brow. The hold is probably even better. Like you just feel it immediately. It's really great. I've been using this a lot ever since I got it. There's kind of a good amount of creaminess in it. So the team's color is purple. And well, like purple and black and sparkle and all that stuff. And so anytime I've gotten ready for one of these competitions, I've been pulling for palettes that contain some kind of purple. The time before last, I used Huda Desert Dusk. It has a pretty purple pop. This past weekend, I used my Too Faced Cinnamon Roll palette. It has that pretty purple pop, and I felt the need to go ahead and get this from Hard Candy. It's the Future Visions palette. So in the last video where I talked about Hard Candy, I was using that that warmer colored one, the Greek Tragedy or whatever. And this one, I played with this yesterday and it's really, really good. What I'm seeing throughout these shades is a lot more consistency in these palettes, a lot more consistent good quality compared to some of the other like long strip type palettes that I used from Hard Candy in the past. Like when they were in their earlier years, they do give you 3 glitters here. I think these shades of glitter are so pretty and so like Easter egg vibes, and I did want to throw one of those on today, but I just can't do it because I've got that preschool screening. I'm going to start out with this shade in the crease. It's a matte. The mattes, by the way, are this one, and then we've got mattes here, and these 3 as well. This navy, beautiful kind of orchid shade, and a pink too. And I'm going to start out with this WTF NFT. Just get that going in the crease. It's a beautiful, naturally shadowed, cool kind of taupe color. I couldn't believe how much interest there was in the eye look that I had on in that TikTok the other day. Trying to get consistent about like posting these little videos as YouTube shorts as well, and also Instagram reels. And I feel like this could be a fun way to do like little vlogs. Like I did one of the cheerleading competition, which I wasn't even, planning to shoot anything like that. I just put together some of the pictures and clips that I took from the day. I feel like I could do some fun mini vlogging action. Maybe I'll eventually work into doing some longer vlogs, but that just seems really manageable to me, and to do something a little bit extra that doesn't take away from my other videos. Okay, there's that beautiful mid-tone shade there called WTF NFT. And then I'm going to take some of this shimmer right up here. It's kind of like shimmery plum called Bite, B-Y-T-E. We're going to add that to the crease as well. I just have a little bit more control with this Profusion crease brush, but I could do this with my Persona double-ended too. This is just a little bit smaller. Love that. We just added a little more like plummy haze. While we're doing this zone, I loved taking 4D, so that's this pretty purpley one, and like taking it out over that edge. It's so pretty, really nicely pigmented. I wish I would have grabbed this palette from the start, but I'm also going to blend out the edge. Just buff it into nothingness, getting really close to the brow, but it's pretty. Then for like really dark shades, we got several different options. We've got like a deep shimmery kind of plummy navy. We've got a deep brown here, and this dark blue up in the corner called Meta. I'm going to do that one just to see, because I hadn't used it yet. It's good. I mean, it's full colored navy. I could compete with the navy in my Viseart palette, honestly. That's really good. I'm really liking the way that shade looks, kind of touching the pinky orchidness there. So I'm going to take a little, with my Profusion small pointed brush, a little bit of Meta, a little bit of 4D, and go straight into the crease with that. It's like we're doing a little micro blending there between those 2 shades. Just dip into both and blend it out. But see, I'm not blending like all over the surface area, just over where those 2 shades meet. Then inward on the lid, I'm going to use a little bit of this shade called Streamer. It's like a soft shimmer, kind of a hazy purple. Okay, we'll say it. It's lavender haze, like Taylor Swift would say. Right there. It's really a super pretty color. Look at that finish, okay? Does not need a finger to be applied. I'm just not wasting it. You see kind of what that's creating there on the lid? That might be one of my favorite shades in the palette. I did get just a little bit of fallout there though. Don't get too excited when you go to put it on. It's okay, we have a brush for that on standby. I feel like it's like we have a paramedic on standby. Boop, boop, boop. Never to be seen or heard from again. Okay. I may not be the mom who wore glitter to the preschool screening, but it's looking like I'll go down as the mom who had the purple eyeshadow, which is fine. Honestly, do whatever you want. I don't know why I'm making a big deal about the glitter thing. Maybe it's because I just feel like doing what I do. Sometimes maybe I feel a teensy bit self-conscious when I've got like full glam for various like not glam occasions. Maybe I'm just a little bit self-conscious about that sometimes. But this purple eye is so fun. It's a little brighter than what I did yesterday. Yesterday's I worked in a little bit less of the pink. I didn't have the navy. The outer corner was more like this dark kind of plummy brown. And then I went lighter on the lid. This shade is gorgeous. Are We Dancers? So vibrant. But also what's new in this video are these shadow sticks. And these wore so well. When I tell you I had just popped this light shade called Bubbly around my inner corner, I was still taking it off before bed. I had this on my under eye. No transfer, no smudging or anything. So they call these eyeshadow markers, and these both say shimmer. So I got Bubbly and I got Pony. So Pony is this kind of, what do we call this? Taupe with a little bit of mauve in it. Really super pretty. And then Bubbly, like I said, is just the kind of shade that you'd want popping around an inner corner or used as a highlight. And we see it there, see it catching the light. So I think I'm going to take a little bit of that around that inner corner again today. I mean, to stay there so well for an entire day. It really just catches the light immediately. If anybody's wondering, Biscuits is just laying on the floor beside me. Maybe she is a little offended by the bunny in the background. I'm going to take Pony and I'm going to use that right down here. Smudgy lower liner. Again, I wore it there the other day. It did not move. Going on really smoothly, just as good as any, jumbo stick of this type. And it's just a nice little depth level for a smudgy liner that gives definition, but maybe you don't want it to be too terribly dark, or I could picture this being beautiful just all over the lid. These were website orders, y'all, because I couldn't find them in store. I'm thinking about just going over that a little bit with, let's just use some of this shade called Virtual right here. It's a blue, but the shimmer also kind of makes it look purpley. Just to add a little bit more color tie-in. Just at the outside, it's fine. On the topic of caring about what your makeup looks like, or like what kind of look you have on when you're doing a certain thing, I'm grabbing my Persona liner in black, by the way. I'm just going to go across my upper lash line because I still failed at getting a hard candy liner. But caring what kind of makeup look you have on, or whether or not it's appropriate for anything. Like, typically, I do not care at all. Like, going to the store, picking up kids from school, taking kids to school, just being at home. I'll never be a person who's like, oh, I just did this whole makeup look and all I'm going to do is stay at home. No, like, that's life a lot of times. That's fine. I think where I start to get a little more self-conscious are those things where I know I'm in like a face-to-face personal meeting with someone, and maybe I don't want my makeup to become a distraction or just something that's going to make me feel like, oh, are they looking at that, or are they looking at me? And I don't have a whole ton of situations where that's an issue. And there are people I come into contact with who know exactly what I do and nothing would surprise them, and that's fine. But I just feel like I'm going into an environment where I might have some people I know and have dealt with before, but I very well may not. If it were me and I was on the other side, I'd probably be thrilled to see someone show up in glitter eyeshadow. Like, I would fully support that. I just think some other people could also be distracted by it. But anyway, guys, this mascara coming up, amazing. Like, I can't believe I'm on such a hot streak with mascara. The one from Relove was really, really good. That's a straight up tubing mascara. This one, not tubing. It says Ultimate Lash Extension Mascara Lengthen in jet black. I feel like it could build for days. Really great length. We're talking kind of long rubber bristles. I just loved yesterday how I felt like I was going through it and I could keep building and building, and they just kept getting longer and longer. And it has some little spikies even way out to the end. They kind of go off like that. And then we have probably it's hard to count, maybe 6 different rows of bristles coming out from the sides. I'm hearing birds chirping already. That sounds like cardinals. There's a little bush, a rose bush, straight down from my window, and cardinals usually nest there. You hear that, kitten? Hear that little sweet birdie? Look at the length I'm building right now. Okay, it's gonna stay wet for a little while, so I'm going to go ahead and start this eye, and then I'm gonna come back and continue to build on that. But the length is really great. Like, I swear I'm not exaggerating just because I'm on a hard candy high right now. It's truly good. I took a finished look picture of that the other day, I believe, like looking up, and it really exposes all the length I was able to get. I'm really realizing this over here on my left eye, but those little bristles at the tip help a lot. I'm getting product way in there. Okay, camera cut off on me for a second after I just got the first coat on there and then added even more over here, and the length is just great. What this brush, or this like little cleaning it off mechanism, has mastered with this one is getting the brush cleaned off but not too bare. So I feel like with every pass the lashes are able to get something on there, but it's not over gooped. The lashes, as they say, are lashing. Yes. I'm going to do some Cali Ray Come Hell or High Water on the lower lashes, just because we don't yet trust this down there. This was the way I did it yesterday, and I had no smudging from my shadow stick or my eyeshadow. And the Cali Ray, you know, it can be trusted. I got a little aggressive with it over here. And then I'm just going to come over here and let this eye have another coat. And then I think I'll call it a day with the lashes because I'm really happy with this. Again, the name of this mascara, it says Lengthen in like big bold letters, and then under it, it says Ultimate Lash Extension Mascara. I probably could have found this one in the store, I feel like, but when I was just placing my order for some of these other things, I just threw it on. Figured why not? Lash close up. I love it. The length might even be better than the Revolution Relove one. It's not tubing, so if that's important to you, know that, but so good. I want to, at this point, I'm gonna do a little bit with a brush. I stay and slay because I'm just real shiny up into here. Remember we had that glowy primer on, then we went layering on like 2 different liquid blushes. What a fun little springtime eye, right? And I love the color and finish of this shade called Streamer right here. It was this one. Like, that is so gorgeous. And then there's another shade called Glitch. And it's kind of like a nice silvery shade, and it's got a lot of opaque color too. Oh, and by the way, those shadow sticks I swatched, going nowhere. Going nowhere. Okay, so for lips, I just got a different lip liner shade. You saw the one called Kiss and Tell in the last video, and it's a little more, you know, as the packaging indicates, a little more toasty, kind of like a deepened up toasty nude. Think of Milani's Cinnamon Statement if you tried one of their understatement lip liners. This one's called First Move, and it's a little bit cooler, and this was part of that lip look that I did on TikTok the other day. This looks beautiful paired with Bare Affair from Revlon Super Lustrous, and then I topped it all off with Pink Panther Gloss from Essence. But I love these lip liners because they come with that attached brush, and also when you talk a lot you'll get outside the lines. Yes, kitten? She says, I'm here, guys. Biscuits is usually the one, by the way, coming up here and making all the appearances. Hi, sweetie. I love you. Oh, you love. Such a good girl. If you missed the first video, by the way, Hard Candy makes an excellent setting spray too. Longwear setting spray with the pink label. I didn't put that on today because I forgot. So if you like a mauve-y, kind of deepened up nude, that's what I'm thinking about with this. I love it. It's like a mauve mixed with nude and isn't too cool and gray. And you can really do it fairly quick. In the video yesterday, I did it very fast, even though it was sped up. Like it didn't take long, because then you have, oh dear. Because you can then use this brush, like however you happen to get it drawn on, you can use the brush to smooth it out and even it out. Isn't that nice? Like just as is for a lip color, nothing else done. Here's one thing that might be fun to do. I could take another one of these balms. These are the Plumping Serum lip balms. These jumbo balms are so fun. Bountiful Bear. This one didn't get enough attention in the last video. Just take that over top. Feels real creamy. Ooh, that's a nude we can get into, right? Ooh, smooth and creamy, yes. This offers a little color on its own, but not much, but ooh, pretty. And then I also have the one called Richly Rose, more of a berry. We used that last time. So guys, this is our finished look with the Hard Candy today, and I'm loving it. So many things worth checking out. If you can't find it in your Walmart, or your Walmart sadly does not carry Hard Candy, which I have heard from some people, check hardcandy.com. That lip, y'all, And it feels great, just feeling like that lip balm. Thank you all again so much for watching. Let me know who's with me on this hard candy train. It's so much fun. Great values on great quality makeup, all drugstore. I love it. Have a great day, my loves. I will see you again very soon. I love you. Bye.